Hello everyone, Pounds2K Gaming here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Woojer Vest Edge. With no fancy graphics, no paid sponsorships, just a straightforward review of what you need to know before you consider whether the Woojer could be for you. I'm going to be giving you my experiences of the vest since I've been using it for the past couple of weeks. I do have some footage of me using the Woojer further on in this video. So if you want to skip straight to that, then I have put a linked timeline in the description down below. So the Woojer, in a nutshell, uses haptic technology to create subsonic movement, or vibration, if you will. The vest itself is silent, unless the intensity is set high enough to cause an audible vibration from another surface, or from the vest itself. Therefore, it is important to make sure that your vest is tightly fastened in order to mitigate this audible vibration. On the flip side, this feedback provides reassurance that you're less likely to blow out the components, as when it's really intense, the vibration is clearly heard and you'd be more than likely to want to turn it down, per se. Before we delve into the details, allow me to give you my overall conclusion. As far as the Woojer Vest Edge goes as a product, I couldn't outright recommend the Woojer, as it really depends on what you're looking for. Don't get me wrong, the Woojer is a fantastic product which has been meticulously researched and accomplishes everything that Woojer has designed it to do. It is far superior in providing sensational feedback, unlike any conventional audio-based sound system I have yet to come across. But let's be honest, usually the neighbours don't tend to be too keen on those types of systems. The Woojer should be considered as a new innovation using new technological advancements that will likely redesign the future of audio experiences. Audiophiles everywhere we want to get their hands on a Woojer. But as with any new innovation, the Woojer Vest Edge in particular needs more refinement in some areas to fully release its potential. It is extremely powerful and can actually recreate almost any sensation. Physical chills down your spine? Check. Booming concert bass? Check. Even feedback from audio that the human ear cannot physically hear. However, the design did not take into account the amount of heat that is produced from the vest, causing temperatures to continually rise until the system shuts itself off with the LED indicator, informing the user that it has effectively reached its limit. It is for this reason, when combined with the Woojer's high price tag, that it holds me back from highly recommending this version of the Woojer. I cannot be certain of the cutoff temperature, but the highest temperature reading I have got from the Woojer is 76 degrees Celsius using IR commercial temperature equipment. The overall construction of the vest is very durable, and is fairly comfortable once it has been worn in after a couple of days. I have had no problems wearing the vest for periods of up to 10 hours easily. The plug-and-play nature of the vest means you can easily grab snacks and beverages without having to physically take off the vest. Just be careful, because if you're like me and you have others living with you, then you may experience something similar to what I did. Let's just say, they thought I was wearing some kind of insurgent tack vest. Anyway, moving on. I have invited several people to give the vest a go in order to see how it performs, being a one-size-fits-all solution, and I'm pleased to report that the Vest Edge is easy to adjust to your own personal physique. The adjustable straps are kept clean and tidy by using bands to pack any excess strap from floating freely about. Putting on the vest feels like you're preparing for your gaming session by readying up, or even about to deliver an aircraft safety briefing. Your Woojer vest is packed underneath your seat. When required, pull out the vest from its container and place over your head. The bottom buckle is fastened, adjusted, and unfastened like this. Alright, that's enough of that. So this is the vest, and as you can see with the straps, they have this little band here which ensures that the excess strap doesn't float around everywhere. You could do the same with the shoulder straps. In fact, you probably give it a pull and you probably have a parachute come out the back. There is a secondary strap up here which is black on black, my oversight. You probably can't see it all that well. And then I want to draw your attention to the padding on the vest, because if we take a look, and I'd like to point out this is the material they've used is highly durable, and for the most part it's fairly comfortable. It's been inlined all along the back and the main shoulder areas. But if I bring your attention to the back side, where the back panel is, you'll notice that it's made of a much harder material. In fact, if I give it a tap, you'll even be able to hear the material. Now, I'm pointing this out because I'm going to come back to this later. It's very important to note. Since I've just addressed the back panel, it makes sense to move on to that aspect of the vest next. So, like I said, the padding used not only aids to enhance comfort, but it also serves as a barrier against being in direct contact with the source surface the heat is generated from. And while it does do a relatively good job, some users may still find that the vest will become uncomfortably too hot after a prolonged period of use. And as I pointed out earlier with the backside panel, with the harder material, unfortunately, this surface retains the source heat of the vest and can become very hot. In fact, it is too hot to touch once the temperature surpasses 65 degrees Celsius. Please note that it is this back panel surface that will be in direct contact with whatever surface you put your back against while wearing the vest. Which returns us to the fact that it is the lack of active cooling features that holds back the full potential of the Woojer vest. Users have to choose whether to unlock the power of the Woojer for a short period of time, and accepting that the vest will turn into effectively a heated blanket up to the point where the device will shut itself off from overheating, or to turn down the experience to use the Woojer for longer. The vest will work with virtually any setup, whether you want to use it with headphones or physical speakers like I do. It accepts multiple inputs from 3.5mm audio to audio over USB and Bluetooth wireless technology. So, for example, in my setup, I've ended up using an audio splitter where one connects to the vest directly and the other connects to my speakers in order to use my main speakers to work with the Woojer Vest Edge. The setup for the Woojer Vest Edge was very simple, and you can get up and running in minutes. Well, once you've completed the initial charging of the vest anyway, which ended up surpassing around about the 2-hour mark. But while you're waiting, you get plenty of time to observe the box packaging, and it is by far the weirdest shaped design I have ever seen. Unfortunately, I'm unable to show you the box, but it looked as if it should have come from Area 51. But nonetheless, the design incorporated a good housing for the vest to securely fit in, while providing additional space to shove all the cabling and the charging, all that stuff basically. Personally, I did not find the instruction manual to be very clear, and I'm glad I followed the instructions on Woojer's website, which was much clearer, easier to understand and read. Otherwise, it would not have been apparent that you needed to download their firmware updater tool from their website. Make sure that you also keep your USB connector stored safely, because you will be needing that to install firmware updates. Speaking of the website, and more so of their Indiegogo page, as with the potential risk with any new startup company these days, the information along with the reaction videos and the reviews that they've picked out to display, I can confidently say after using the Woojer Vest Edge myself, is that all of that content is authentic, and the Woojer really does provide that kick which overwhelms people in their initial reaction. Speaking of Woojer as a company and a new company at that, they have every best intention towards delivering the best product to their customers. However, their inexperience does show in the way that they're distributing the product. I personally have no problem with companies wanting to fully sell and distribute in-house in order to get that 100% of the sale instead of using a distributor like Amazon. That's fine, providing the company can adequately distribute in a reasonable time frame or maintain stated timelines. I know I personally had a few issues and the customer service was pretty good, so that is a huge positive. But I feel they would have been best using a third party distributor. Also, using a one in, one out system with a relatively low numbers in regards to their batches perhaps is not the best in terms of practicality and has caused distribution issues, stagnating the customer experience somewhat. So, do bear that in mind if you want to order a Woojer. Just you've got to maintain a bit of leniency there, especially in terms of getting the product to you. Now let's move on to the interface and control systems the Woojer Vest Edge has on board. Firstly, it doesn't have a dedicated PC application interface, which could have helped in terms of quality of life solutions. Instead, there is an old school button-based control box on the vest. The plus and minus buttons controls the volume, which if you're not going to be plugging headphones directly into the vest, then you don't really need to worry about this setting other than maxing it out. The up and down buttons control the intensity of the vest, or vibration, sensitivity, whatever phrase you want to describe it by basically. And it is this intensity design that gives me some quality of life PTSD. Because the moment the vest is turned off, or the sound input, such as taking out the 3.5mm audio cable to get a drink or whatever, the intensity settings is reset to factory defaults, which is frustrating because every new Woojer session you have to manually adjust the intensity levels. As you can imagine, different games to different movies, sound files, music, and so forth will use different bass leveling and need to be set accordingly, which is fine until you reuse sound sources or you play the same games again, which use intensity settings outside of the factory defaults. Now, take music as a prime example. Say you listen to track A and the intensity settings you adjust to get it so you're happy with how track A plays. The next day you play track A again, but because the vest has been switched off, you have to try to mirror the intensity settings again. Personally, I would highly recommend the implementation of some kind of software to allow configurations that can be sent to the vest to mitigate this issue. The Woojer Vest Edge also has an LED indicator to tell you what the vest is doing. Personally, I don't really know if it works as intended or not, because I think my quality of life hack, which I figured out, seems to confuse my Woojer into Blackpool illuminations. Before I elaborate, that brings me nicely onto the battery life of the vest. Unfortunately, there is no way to verify how much battery charge the Woojer has left, and so eventually you reach a point where the vest becomes noticeably weak. Your first thought will probably be that perhaps you've knocked the controls, but in fact the vest is just low on juice. There is a huge silver lining though. Like I said, I've figured out my own quality of life hack, and by the way, this hasn't been published by Woojer, so do use it at your own risk, but it is possible to charge the vest while in use. So you can use the vest while you're charging it. It's entirely possible. However, to avoid unwanted static, do make sure that the vest is turned off first. You plug in the charger and get it charging first before then turning it on and getting it going like you would normally. The only problem with this is that you will confuse your LED indicator. I've had blues and reds shown at the same time, when unplugging the vest to move about for whatever reason. I know, shocking, I actually do move. Upon replugging, I've even seen colours that the vest was never designed to display. For example, I've seen even shades of yellow from several of the LEDs being on at the same time. Personally, it's not really an issue, other than being pretty amusing, actually, to be honest with you. You soon get to understand what your vest is really up to, and ultimately, it appears that no harm is done. The LED indicator appears to work normally next time you turn it on, with its default blue flashing surge mode, enabling as you turn it on, like it usually does. Speaking of the power button, it is important to note that for some reason after extended use, the LEDs do not turn off straight away, so in order to ensure that you've successfully turned off your Woojer Vest Edge, make sure to observe what light it is showing first before you turn it off, and how bright it is. Providing the power button is held in for say around 3 to 4 seconds solid, I would say, then the Woojer Vest should have turned off. This can be verified by the LED indicator now showing more of a glow dim light of whatever colour you had before. This fades completely over the course of a couple of minutes. Also, it is important to note that the Woojer does appear to output some kind of magnetic interference around the control box. I noticed that microphone equipment did pick up on this interference in close proximity, so do just bear that in mind, especially if you output some kind of videos, content creation, streaming, and anything like that. Do bear that in mind. I think that covers about everything. Before we take a look at the footage of the Woojer Vest Edge in action, I must acknowledge that, yes, from what I have said, it does sound quite negative towards the Woojer, but honestly, it is really not. It is very difficult to put into words just how fantastically well the Woojer does its thing, and that's where I hope this footage that I'm able to play will help give some perspective. If you have access to a subwoofer, then I would highly recommend you turning it up, as it is probably the best way I can think of to even try to come close to showing you how the vest feels. The Woojer Vest Edge is a really great product, a new innovation bringing a very new, unique and special experience that no other sound system can come close to matching. That is not to say that there are areas where the product can be improved upon. Yeah, that's very true. Some quality of life aspects and temperature control ultimately holds the Woojer just short of being one of the best sound experiences ever created, in my opinion. Make sure to keep an eye on Woojer, because I strongly believe that their next generation of Woojer Vest, whenever that may be, will be something truly spectacular. Anyway, let's get to the good stuff. This is the Woojer Vest Edge. Oh, I was not ready for that. Oh my god, wow. Oh my god, guys, this is awesome. Oh, hell. Is that my yoke vibrating? I think that's my yoke. Because I'm up against it, it's actually vibrating my yoke. That's crazy. Do you know, I find this actually like really amusing, right? Because it's like vibrating against my yoke, right? It's almost as if like you know when you get something like generally that vibrates in like an aircraft. I mean, like there's always something that vibrates. Something like old and rickety. I know. I take like a lot of like the old Cessnas or something. Yeah, it just vibrates. It absolutely vibrates. Like the whole time. God, this is so crazy. You guys really want next level stuff. You so want to get one of these. I just really wish it didn't run so hot. That's the only thing. Like, you could probably like hear it in my voice. Like, if I was to do like a single tone for long enough, then it would probably start vibrating. I reckon. I don't know. I mean, we could try it, but I'm about to bomb. Here we go. Oh, he's gonna get there before us, isn't he? Yeah. New target. New target. Oh, this is intense. Whole thing is just absolutely pulsating me right now. Alright, here we go. Stand by. Come off that power. Oh, it's lightened up in intensity. Oh my god, wow, that makes such a difference. Bombs are away, bombs are away. I have no idea how much it is to destroy bases anymore. Right, looks like we need 5 bombs now. 5 bombs for bases. Oh, I was not ready for that. Oh my god, wow. Two more bombs are away, 2 more bombs are away. Getting on the power. Oh crap. Inbound. Break, break, jettison the bombs, let's go, let's roll. Ah, we couldn't do it. Oh my god, even the flares have got base. Holy right, do you know what, the Woojer Vest, right? I have never ever like come across a single subwoofer that can translate bass sounds as good, right? So for example, right, I've always had to every single time, like with like VLC or something, I've had to do an additional profile to actually whack the lower frequencies up higher, just so my physical subwoofer can actually pick up on the bass levels. This thing, this thing, oh, it does not have a problem. In fact, it completely messes up. I don't even need that VLC. I don't actually need the default the custom profiles on it. I really don't. It picks up on even the tiniest frequency of anything like bassy. Like, however they've put this together in what to pick up, what not to pick up, they've done a pretty good job. Put it that way. I mean, far superior to any subwoofer you can get on the market. Period. There, look. That is how powerful this vest is. That is how powerful. I'm not even joking, that's how powerful this vest is. Well, that's a different view for landing for us. Alright, here we go. Oh, we're doing with an IL-28. Well, at least we'll get a good looking takeoff. Positive rate, gear up. Attracting flaps. Well, we can start heading that way and just see if we get anywhere close. Although I doubt it. So we're all flying in a formation here. Are we not going after him, guys? Just before I wrap this video up, guys, that just leaves me left to say, with the Woojer Vest Edge could be the perfect product for you if the price range isn't a concern for you and you want a mind-blowing experience. However, for the general consumer overall, the expensive price tag, which isn't static as of yet, by the way, combined with the limitations of the Woojer, becomes the overarching factor to pass on this generation of the Woojer Vest Edge. Unfortunately, more conventional subwoofer-based sound systems can provide a good immersive experience for a significantly lower value in terms of price ranges. Although you could also consider the Woojer strap as another viable alternative, which is significantly cheaper. Otherwise, that's going to be it for today, guys. As always, a huge thank you to all of you for watching. I hope you found this video to be informative and helpful. If you did, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, or swap it upside down if it weren't your cup of tea. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below in the comments. Or perhaps you have a Woojer and you came across something which either I don't know or perhaps even forgot to mention. Also, don't forget to click the bell to subscribe to be the first to see more videos like this one. It would really help me out. Your support is truly appreciated. This is Pounds 2K Gaming, and I will see you next time.